Well, good afternoon my YouTube friends, it's Margaret again from M.E.s Orchids, and I'm just out in the garden, and I'm actually on the workbench, well, the potting bench, and this Dendrobium here, which is of course the delicatum, is it's been out all night. I was hoping it was going to rain last night, but it didn't actually rain last night, and although I think maybe we might get some rain later today. So this morning, because I'm on holiday at the moment, I've watered it and I've also fed it, and you'll see now. There you can see when I tip it or bring it a little bit nearer. Those roots and that media are quite dry, and it's just potted up in orchid bark there. That's the actual the centre part. If you'll go back on my videos, you'll see that I left the old medium, and because dendrobiums don't like to be disturbed, they're terrible for sulking, at least for 12 months. Now you'll see that big whopping big new growth there, and I turn around, this is a new growth, this is a new growth, this is another whopping big new growth, this one, don't know if you'll see that, and right, I think maybe I've shown them all now, hopefully I have, and they have got this habit of growing that way, because at one time I thought to myself, oh dear, I'm going to have to actually cane these in. But that must be its growth habit. I just had one little accident when it first arrived, and it's this one here where the cane actually cracked. But there we go, and I've sellotaped it onto this old cane. So that will come inside now, and like I say, the medium's nice and dry. So if I put this one down here, and this big monstrosity here, of course, is the Gracilli Corley, and this is a very humongous orchid. And if I just bring this camera up, you'll see how big she is. And if I just hold the tripod, that's how big she is. I'll bring her down back on here, get her in the right position so we can see her. You're in focus. There we go. And this one's sending out some new growths as well. This is potted up now in lava rock, and again this one's been watered, and it's also been fed. Now this one does seem to retain the water a little bit more than the other one, and I think the reason being is under there, that the hole that's under there is only a small hole. But anyway, at this moment in time it doesn't matter, because dendrobiums do like to be kept moist. This is a new cane here, and that's already, there we go, can you see? Let's just take it a little bit further back, see whether or not, I better just bear with me a minute. Let's just take it up, that's it. Sorry about that. this is the cane that I'm talking about here. Goes right up to there. That's a new cane there. She's got a new cane, I don't know whether you can see right inside there. Now that's going to come in the middle of those two canes there. And let's have a look. And then just tucked here, don't know whether you can see that one, just tucked there was that first cane. So again, this one now is in full growing mode, and she'll go back up into the grow room now, and she could stay out for the summer, but the trouble is, of course, there's too much sun in the garden, and Keith's having to travel around with the umbrella and to keep them shaded so they don't burn. So they're alright, they'll be okay upstairs. I'm going to put that one down here now. Just with me. And what else am I going to show you? So I'm going to bring this camera right down now, and then now I don't know whether you'll see this. Can you see? And it's my birthday today. I don't brag about my birthday because next year I have a birthday with a 70, and that's the big one, so that's one to be celebrated, but not this year. And so there we go. This is now, these are on the way from Curly Orchidine, and the first one is Thunia Bensonii. The next one is Dendrobium a day, and the third one is Dendrobium pseudo lamella. Oh dear, that's a name. Lamelatum. And let me just give you a little insight into what kind of a orchid I'm going to be looking at. This is the Thunia, or in other words, it's just got the name Thu, and it's actually common name is Mrs. Benson's Thunia, and she was an English wife of an English general in Myanmar, and in the 1800s. So this genus comprises of only 6 natives, which are native to Southeast Asia. That's right, and it's abbreviated Thu. And these have a bamboo-like look about them, and are deciduous in the winter months. Now this is, or can be, a terrestrial orchid, and so Bensonii is one of the more showy species, sporting large cattleya-like purple-stroke pink flowers. In late winter or early spring, new growths sprout from the base of completely leafless, sheath-covered canes. These canes are dark brown and lifeless looking. So as you carry on all the way down there, and so basically they completely die off in the winter, and then once they've had now let me just have a look somewhere, it's either 3 months winter rest, yep, 3 months or more, and there's nothing then, they just die back, and then you repot in spring into fresh sphagnum moss and fertilise, and the website that I've been on, they actually fertilised in potted up in sphagnum moss, but of course, you know, living in England, I probably won't pot it up in pure sphagnum moss. And so, and then when it reappears in the spring, it comes out with like a light blue-green colour, short leafy bracts, and then from them it starts to grow rapidly, and then it gives these beautiful blooms. So that's the Thunia bensonii. Now that did say on the website some experience necessary, and I'm one of those orchid growers that I do like a challenge. Sometimes the challenge can be too great and the orchid suffers, but I'm one of those now that I like to read up on them, and I like to have that challenge of having something different. So the next one is Dendrobium. I don't know if you can see that. Let me bring you up a bit so you can see. Dendrobium pseudo-lamellantum. Oh dear. You know, when I'm off camera I can say it. Pseudo-lamellatum. Anyway. So that's a miniature orchid, and it's an epiphyte species with flattened pseudobulbs, and it requires partial shade and medium to high temperatures. Now, why was I attracted to this one? I was attracted to it because of its unusual flat pseudobulbs. And if you go on one of the websites, it shows you this one is, you know, as it's mounted, and it's really got a little tiny gorgeous flower, and it looks just wonderful. And if you see there on my notes, I've put no winter rest. And we go to the last one that's been ordered, and it's Dendrobium a day, and this is a slender caned orchid. It is also called M.E.s Dendrobium. It's found in Australia in the Cape York Peninsula, and it grows epiphytic on trees or lithophyte on rocks in exposed north to west facing locations in forests or in protected spots in open forest of 700 to 1,220 metres above sea. And it is a small to medium sized cold to cool growing semi-pendant species with thin wiry erect to semi-pendant. That's the it may be a little bit like the dock ruller, I'm not too sure. And this kind of orchid prefers a moderate temperature, summer not above 27 C, winter between 15 and 18. And so for success growth at home, it is necessary that the night temperatures is always at least 4 degrees lower than the daytime temperatures. And so I'm quite excited about these new orchids that are on the way, and so as soon as they arrive I will do an unboxing video and see what they all turn out like. So while I'm outside I'll try and just unfasten the camera, and if I can unfasten it, bear with me, and I'll just give you a little walk round. There we go. So Keith's inside with the cricket, and that's the digitalis foxglove. So I'm just outside in the garden here, and this is a lovely bed. Got the digitalis, the foxgloves, freely flowering, and these are the big what are these? The candelabra primulas. And then interspersed we've got of course pinks, Sweet Williams, some of them are just going over, and there we go. If we turn around this area, we're desperate for some rain, you know. It hasn't rained properly for days and days. These are some of the dahlias. These are the named ones. These are patio dahlias, and so they're fine in a tub like this. And if I back up, you can see how things are desperate for the water. And there's the lilies coming out in that tub as well. And if we sneak upon the tadpoles here, as soon as I come near them, they usually bounce back, dive bomb back into the water. But some of them have actually got legs now, so I'm dead chuffed about that. And let's just have a quick pan round. All the nice pinks and yellows. That's the Hypericum, but this is an Acer maple, variegated one. That's the Hypericum tucked away in there. And of course I've shown you this before. And these are some more carnations. They do smell nice, the carnations. This is an unusual primula. Look at that one. Beautiful. And some of these other candelabra ones are going over now. Don't think there's anything else on this other side, so we'll just quickly pan round. And then these are some more dahlias, but the buds there, but they're not opening yet. And if I can quickly, oh, at last things are coming out there. These tubs have been here, these pots have been here, and nothing's happened. And for months now, and then at last, that's that nice rose. Now I'm going to turn round now. I don't know whether I'm going to be blinded with the sun. Don't know whether you'll see in the background there, I don't know whether you can see the darkening skies up there. Desperate for some rain, like I say. And these are the other dahlias. Got buds coming on. It'll be nice to see because we've not had dahlias for such a long time. And of course that's a box, a container of gladioli and primulas. And we have to remember to deadhead the primulas, because if you don't deadhead them, they will start to fade very quickly. So we try and deadhead as much as we can. And that's just that visual back there, so I'll take you this way round, and if you'll excuse the noise underfoot, that's one of the Aces. This hot weather, it's turned it a beautiful colour, and there we go. This is just one of those little pots that we've got potted up. These are pansies that I've got growing here, and they'll be able to be potted on while I'm off this next fortnight because I'm off work. And there's the wallflowers, which need to be thinned out now. And also today, what I've done today is I've checked all the auriculas, and I've actually fed them. If you go underneath, what you have to do, you have to take the old bracts out. That's the old dying leaves that, can you just see under there? And you have to get them all out, and then I've sprayed them with an insecticide, and that's the one that had the was it a caterpillar on it, munching away, and I think now it might be in this one, and when I've sprayed it I had a vine weevil bob out, so that got the kill treatment straight away. So let's take you around the corner now, and then it's a lovely time of year, this is, because we've got the nice long days, and the weather's, like I say, it's very humid today, but then today later on we're going to get the rain, and then Thursday it's going to dip, the weather, and then Friday we're going to start warming up again, just in time for next week. And as I'm often at work next week as well, we'll take advantage of these lovely days. And these are of course the big troughs that we filled with the begonias here. And I'm going to stretch over because I'll show you in a minute. Look at these. Beautiful, aren't they? And then we've got a yellow one there. And it's like a variegated one. And if we look down here, this is the lavender. And this is the first year it's really spread like this. I'm so chuffed. And of course there's another basket. I'm showing these because Deborah in New Zealand, of course they're just going into their winter months, and when it's our winter months I just love her garden tours. It just keeps you going. So this is what I'm doing now, Deborah. Although you've still got some of your pots still potted up and they're still flowering, which wouldn't be the same here in England, not when we start with our winters, as you know. And this one here now is the other side of the jasmine, and that one's the red one, and on this side this is the variegated one, and this is the pink one. So let me just skim over here, and you'll see just tucked in there, that is my cymbidium. Sorry about that, I thought somebody was just coming through the gate. So there's a cymbidium, and that gets dappled sunlight. Now if all the orchids could stay under there, I'd be a happy bunny. And of course this is the huge Hypericum. And if we'll just nip through the arch and into the front garden. And this is another form of, now what do we call it? The beautiful one in the back that has flowers on. Oh, it'll come to me. And it smells beautiful. Now this is the same type, but this is a pendulous one and this is a white one. And I've not just shown you that, it's next to the Hypericum. But this is in this one, the wind's getting up here. And there we go. So let's turn you around this way. And it is getting up. Now I don't know that I can show you the... let's see if I can show it you before the sun comes through. And this is the big yucca. Look at that. It's got 5 of those flowering fronds. And this is the first time in the summer that we've had 5 grow like this. Everybody's admiring it. and it's a lethal plant though, because it has these spikes on, and if you get those spikes anywhere near you, I tell you, they could do some damage. And let's just take you this way. And of course the Sweet Williams, just love the Sweet Williams, and that's one of the antirrhinums from last year. I haven't seen any more yet, but we need to get out into the garden and do a little bit more weeding. Excuse the noise, I'm on, there we go, there's another Hypericum there, and we go back through the archway, and I've just remembered what that is, because that's one, this is the one, and this is ready to be trimmed now, and that's the mock orange. Thank goodness I remembered it. And this little bed here is what happens. The rhododendron, which flowers in the spring, that doesn't like this warm weather, and I need to cut back some of these other shrubs. So and these are the potatoes, and we've already had one lot, and hopefully we should be getting another lot this weekend. So we're going to just pan you back here, take you into the sunshine. Walk this way. Thank you for joining me this afternoon, and also thank you to all my new subscribers, and keep those comments coming. I try and answer them, not always straight away, but I do try and answer them, and it's very kind of you to send such constructive comments. And here we go, we're back in by the potting table. So again, from me to you, enjoy your gardens, enjoy your orchids, and take care. Bye bye now.